but welcome everyone to the Thomson Reuters Women in Technology webinar. My name is Malia Mua. I am a program manager at Thomson Reuters in the Data Lake and Analytics team. I've been with Thomson Reuters for 4 years now, but a total of 14 years in technology. I've worked in many industries from telecommunication to pharmaceutical to banking. And I'm really excited to be part of the Women in Tech committee at TR. And I look forward to connecting with you all and helping you navigate your way into or within technology. It is a fastly growing industry with lots and lots of opportunities. First, we're going to kick off with a panel discussion with two really amazing women whom I've had the pleasure to work with, Anu and Amita Prabhu. And we will follow up with a quick lab intro that will be led by Ram Arun. And last but not least, we have a Q&A session where we want to give you the opportunity to ask us any questions that you may have, okay? So with further said, let's jump right into it. I'll start with Anu. Maybe you can introduce yourself and then we can get to Amita.
Thanks, Malia. And thank you all for joining us today. My name is Anu Doda. I lead engineering team at Thomson Reuters that provide compliance solutions to tax and trade professionals that help corporations and global accounting firms. I have had about 24 years of experience in this industry. Started as an engineer and I've done several roles from architecture to leadership, and I don't imagine myself doing anything but technology specific work as I feel so passionate about solving problems. Here at TR, we are a very purpose-driven company. Our purpose and core mission is to help inform the professionals across the domains that we serve our solutions, but our purpose is also to help our communities that we belong to in various ways. I feel really happy that, about the program that we are about to launch that you will get to hear about later after this panel, to help the community, the tech community, to learn the technology and to upskill as they need to navigate within their career journey. So it's really encouraging that we get to do something like this for our community that we belong to. And what gives me the most joy is also that we are starting to form that community with a Women in Tech group that we have here. So I ask you all to take advantage of the program. Definitely use it for what you're looking for in terms of doing within the technology industry.
Thank you so much, Anu. Amita, why don't you introduce yourself and your role at Thomson Reuters? I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Malia. A warm welcome to all the participants today. Thank you for choosing to join us and spend your time with us. My name is Amita Prabhu. I'm based out of Philadelphia. I saw many city names there. I'm from Philadelphia. I live here with my husband, 2 children, and our beloved dog. Professionally, I started off with a computer science education, and right out of the college, I joined a company with the focus of application development. It was an interesting experience. From that point onwards, I took a role in consulting. That was a different shift in perspective, talking to customer, understanding customers' pain point, and implementing a solution for them. There was a different shift in my professional career, which was a product development, which I really liked, which I still do, which I really like, and I feel like I'm at home with that particular environment and the dynamics that goes along with the product development. My role here at TR, I lead the integration solution development for all the products under corporate tax and trade under Anu's portfolio. My role allows me to connect TR products to a partner ecosystem and solving a specific problems that our customer has, which partner couldn't solve it to the optimal level, which partner and TR can come together and solve it for the customer. The most important thing that I like about this role is this creates a win-win situation for the customer, partner, and TR. With that, I turn it back to you, Malia.
Thank you, both of you. So now that you guys, the audience have had a chance to learn a bit about us, we want to also know about you. So shortly, you will see a poll that will pop up. If you have a chance to, fill it out, because we want to know who we're talking to, just to understand you guys a little bit more. Okay. So I'm just gonna go to the next question then. Amita, what initially inspired you to get into technology?
Interesting question, Malia. It brings me back my undergraduate days. It started with a computer lab, and it was an assignment to create a simple calculator, take some input, process the input, and spit out output. That actually opened up, a different world, which I did not knew existed. I started taking more and more, developed my interest in computer programming and technology, more and more courses around in that direction. And that interest confirmed with my first job out of the college. As I took various roles and I reflect back now, what is so interesting about the job I do is I love technology. As Anu mentioned, I don't imagine doing anything other than the technology. And also, cherry on top of it, the work that I do, I see it solving a problem out there for our customer. It's not just solving the problem, it's creating a value for the customer. We are touching so many people's life and making their life easier and freeing up most of the time for them. At the end, it also creates a business opportunity for my organization. So it's again, overall a win-win situation. I like to do what I like to do, at the same time helping people.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anu, maybe we'd like to understand what initially inspired you to get into technology too, and you can share a bit of your story with the team here.
Definitely, Malia. A great question though, or a great ask, I think. As a child growing up, I always liked problem solving. And I think that is something that is in every child's mind, in terms of feeling happy about solving a problem. And getting into engineering was not a firm choice I made, or I had this vision of becoming an engineer and solving the things that I'm currently solving for, but it was more of an accidental choice from where I come from and where the choices that I have in terms of my studies and academics. And I picked engineering as a way of that and educating myself from there. But once I started working, that's when I think I really had my eyes open to what technology can do and how technology can intersect with so many industries and so many domains, which actually keeps it very interesting because it never gets monotonous. I have being in technology in various roles, I have worked across retail, healthcare, banking and payments, and now tax and trade technology. Like every industry, every domain has a different nuance to it and different challenges that needs to be solved for, or the problems that needs to be solved for. Being in technology, I feel like, we get to solve different problems all the time. And that kind of keeps your spirits up all the time as to, it's not the same problem I'm solving, but rather it's a new problem with this new job I'm picking up. It's that intersection. Like if you are, for example, like medicine was another choice I had growing up because I come from India, and it was like a natural choice. Either you become an engineer or a doctor. And obviously I didn't want to become a doctor because I never liked cutting open up anything when I've been told so. But now I look at it like, if I want, I could go and solve a problem with technology in the medicine field as well. It doesn't have to be the only being the doctor, but you could provide a lot of solutions in that field as well. So that's what inspires me about technology as a work stream, and makes me to continue to forge ahead every day.
Okay, thank you. I love that you both, have similarities around you love solving problems, right? What it kind of brings us into the next question is, what do you think are, the biggest challenges that women face, or perhaps yourself, you face in technology today? Amita or Anu?
I can start with it. It's a great question, Malia. Before I provide some of my own personal perspective on this question, I also want to add a thought that has been going on in my mind for quite some time now. It is more about the challenge that we are up against. I came across this article that states about a survey that a company had conducted last year, where they observed some themes, which is basically girls were less likely to study STEM. It looks like of 2,000 plus students that they have surveyed, only 30% of females were studying subjects associated to STEM. That is concerning. Right, females, another theme that they've observed is females are less likely to consider a career in technology as compared to men. According to that study, only 27% of the respondents were considering a career in technology as compared to 62% male. And they also noted that there is a shortage of female role models, and that shows up as a major barrier for females to join the technology stream and look forward to making a career in that stream. So, I mean, those themes got me a little bit worried as to we are against a bigger challenge, because not having enough funnel of women coming into this field, working through some of the biases that we need to work through will take more time, right? So that to me is something that we all need to work on as a community, on how we can lift each other up. Our educational institutions have to do better to inspire female students to pursue career in tech, and companies have to enable the culture where everyone thrives and not kind of drop out of the field because of any reasons, right? So that is a challenge that I think we all have to be open, keep our eyes open to, and then see what we can do as a community to help. But that being said, when you come from an underrepresented group, I think coming across challenges is inevitable, right? But one thing that helps is knowing if they were created intentionally or unconsciously or in other ways, right? That helps a lot, because that helps us to be motivated to work through those challenges, in my opinion. For example, I'll give you some challenges that I have faced as a woman in tech for this many years in this industry. Is one of the things that is very common for me is being underestimated or undermined for who I am, right? So it is a common pattern, but there were places where it was the right thing for them to feel that way, that I found out as I reflected better. But there were places where it was intentional. So knowing and having that clarity kind of inspired me to find ways to, prove myself, right? Of course, it is daunting that you have to go to extra length to prove yourself that you're the right person or you're doing the right thing and all that stuff. But knowing that, having that clarity will help kind of forge ahead. And at the end of it, the upside is we come out with a growth mindset of kind of being open-minded, learning how to work through that situation, and actually in that process a lot of people will know you better than they were if they were to consider you for that job right away, or something like that. So there is a downside and there is upside to that challenge that I have seen, and in fact to every challenge that I have faced. So one of the other challenges to provide as an example is for me being a one woman at the table. Like, I've been a lead architect, I've been at architecture steering committees where I'm the only woman who's sitting at the table with 25-30 men of architects and all, which is natural because that's the population and that's the diversity that we had. But it was a challenge to make my voice heard, right? And a lot of microaggressions will come into play as to how those meetings go and whatnot. And it is always discouraging to think, okay, this is what is happening to me. But if you can think of ways to make sure your voice is heard and opinions are heard, like by reaching out to the people separately or even there, it doesn't matter. You just have to make an extra effort. Again, downside is it feels discouraging, but the upside is you connect with more people, you network more, and more people will know you better. And that gives you a lot more credibility within that organization. So my thinking is there are challenges. Again, one last thing I want to highlight before I pass on to Amita is, and this is something I'm pretty sure all the women in this forum will resonate with. Life throws challenges to us as women in phases, right? And it is those times where we have to hold on to our career aspirations. One of the things that I feel helped me to continue to forge ahead is I think of the reasons why I want to continue with my career and career aspirations in those times rather than why I can't. I think that is a mindset that we need to develop as well. But in the end, there are always challenges, but I think there are also, you can see them as opportunities.
Yeah, I connect.
No, go ahead.
No, I connected with so many points there, Malia and Anu. It is, I felt like a couple of events flashed in front of me, just to connect further the thought, or maybe add more detail to the thought. Lack of an example, lack of a successful role model to follow, a good pattern to follow is definitely a roadblock that you see across the board. If you, how can we battle it? By networking and making the connections around ourselves with the right example. And one thing that Anu mentioned about being a single lady at the table, I faced that during my consulting consulting days. It was a men-led world at that time. And I was feeling, I was trying to fit into the environment. And the way I handled that pressure was by taking on more work, trying to prove myself, going out of the way to try to prove myself. And that did not get me anywhere. Like, I was at a breakout point pretty soon. At that point, I had to have this hard reflection. I'm competent, I can do the job, but at the same time, I feel like I don't belong. I had to battle that with a self-reflection, put a boundary to my schedule, and get to a balance which is not driving me crazy. At the same time, it's not impacting my personal and professional life. I think those are the self-control measures from time to time I had to go through in my life. And also this self-doubt, right? So we all go through this imposter syndrome. Are we right for the job? Can we do it? Can we do it to the level of expectation? Can we meet that expectation? So I think definitely some are personally imposed roadblocks, many are societally imposed roadblock, and some are biased imposed roadblock. Women's from various walks of life have this glass ceiling to break. If you are coming from minority representation, that may be heavier on you. As Anu mentioned, we face various different challenges at different phases of life.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you so much for sharing your stories. I'm looking through the chat and there's a ton of people posting, just commenting how it resonates with them. So, given, a lot of us are, relating in similar shape or form, what resources or strategies have you used to overcome or combat these sort of challenges? Maybe I'll start with you, Anu.
Of course, it's kind of what you will have to do. Like again, like to my point earlier, in the end, we don't want to give up, right? Like, you know, if you really want to make your career and you aspire to be someone, or to do a particular role or to do a particular job, you want to have that growth mindset of how can I get that job, or how can I get that role, and what can I do to make myself qualified, or come across as someone who is ready to do that, and all that mindset that you need to have. But some of the things that helped me personally are the things like, just be courageous, don't give up on what you want to be, but determined, with that growth mindset, with that flexibility to change your ways and to learn the ways in which you could get what you are looking for, right? I mean, in the end, bar is low with some of us, actually, right? It's a good thing, because you will definitely see the success if you just hold on to that goal of yours, right? And the other one that really helped me, and this is something through experience I've learned, is being authentic, being consistent and clear and credible in everything we do, right? That creates that personal brand that will go where you can't go by yourself, right? So creating that brand and creating that self quality of yours, right? Like, that is very important, and that works for those who are coming to pick up leadership roles and all. It is even more important to have that kind of personal brand established for yourself. And in the end, I think Amita touched on this as well. We need to learn to settle and compete with knowing enough versus need to know it all. Like, we have this tendency that we got to be perfect, we got to be ready for this. No, we just need to know enough to be able to solve for it. Rest of it happens on the job, and you learn, and you're smart, and you can find ways in which you could, and work with your teams and people around you to make that happen. And we have that quality as women. Personally, I feel like, and we are, I also tend to think, like, there's a lot of women here on this panel today. We are a very resilient creatures in the world, right? And as you can see what is happening in the world, resiliency and empathy and these things matter a lot, and they matter even in the technology world as well. In terms of the problems we need to solve for, we need to be very empathetic to our customer situations, customer problems. So there are so many traits we bring to the table, just as us, right? So just think that we already have enough, and we can also invest in yourself to gather the skills we'll need from there, and then compete. Don't give up is what I would say. And I'll leave you with this one, which is basically, this is a famous proverb that I kept it at my heart all the time, is smooth sails do not make skillful sailors. Right? So if you consider the whole world or technology industry, or whichever you think is a tough or a rough sea, you can only imagine yourself as to how skillful you will be at the other end once you reach, right? So you just have to hold on, learn your ways, and learn that you have support system built out for you that you just need to tune into. But it is possible. It is possible. We just have to hold on to it.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what this committee is for, right? It's a platform that we're building to help give you guys that support that you, in case you don't have. Okay. Amita, did you want to share a little bit of some of your experience on how you combat some of these challenges?
Yeah, absolutely, Malia. So I would say create a community around you. That community could be your own spouse and kids and friends and extended family. Have a support system around you, leaning in more. I talk to my son about my work related matters. I'm not sure whether he listens to me or not, but I still talk to him. So that leaning in more habit will be therapeutic and will help us get through some of the challenging time. And I would say create that balance, right level of balance with the personal and professional life. Interesting story to share. Once I went through this professional development exercise, and they will make you put your various, how do you spend your day, or your goals and perspective into this pizza like structure, like a pie chart, right? So my reflection was totally imbalanced. So I did not have, I was not investing more on development of communities around me, support system around me. That was like a hard knock on the door. I need to surround myself more with the people of like-minded people, who would be supportive in the time of need. That would be my addition, Maya.
That really resonates with me too. I think it's key to surround yourself with people that support you. You've got our platform here. If you're a woman that's in technology, there's a lot of women in tech platforms that you can reach out to. If you're a woman that's trying to get into technology, there are so many opportunities. I don't want people to get discouraged that you need to be an engineer or an architect or a developer just to work in tech. There are so many opportunities. And that's going to lead us into our next question, around what are some of the opportunities at Thomson Reuters that provide this sort of support to encourage women to get into technology or further grow their career path within technology?
I have been here with TR for about four and a half years, Malia, and the support that I've received in the company in terms of the leadership or giving me the opportunities to pursue tremendous, right? Like, it goes without saying that I'm able to bring this program to life with some of you and all of you to the community. That speaks a lot to what this company is about in terms of its purpose in enabling the diverse talent and everything. Just to state few, obviously we've prioritized building an inclusive culture, right? Diversity is one thing, but having that inclusive culture is at the top of our mind and top of our company's objectives. By end of 2022, we've also set goals of having 45% or more women in senior leadership roles, 20% or more racial and ethnic representation, doubling of our Black representation. In terms of that, efforts around increasing racial and gender diversity in the company. We also have 23 women at TR chapters across the globe, because we are a company that is across the globe. We use these chapters and groups to drive, to help our talent and allies, male allies, to drive positive change and inspire everyone across the company as well around inclusivity and anything else that is needed. We offer a lot of leadership programs for emerging women talent and leaders to become the future of TR. So I can go on and on about a lot of things that TR is doing as a company, which is, as a leader that and as a diverse leader as well, it really keeps me motivated to be in a place where you are made to feel belonged, and you're made to feel like you can drive a change and the change that we need, right? So that is something that I'm really proud of what Thomson Reuters is doing as someone who's working in that company for 4.5 years. I'm sure, Amita, you have a couple of thoughts there as well. You've been with us for some time now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm 1.5 years into the company, and just confirming what I'm surprised, I'm amazed and to see the effort that is going around from various levels, the level of leadership from the top, to all the way to the bottom level of leadership, to have, a concerted effort to have inclusive environment. focus on what you can bring to the table, focus on your effort, don't focus on the outcome. That itself alleviates the stress of a big, we plays on the outcome and becoming successful, which is I'm really amazed around the effort that is going around it, and also concerted effort to bring diversity, diverse thought, not just a racial diversity, diverse thought and diverse representation. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Malia.
Okay, well, thank you so much. That's the end of our panel discussion. I hope that our stories, can inspire and you can resonate with. We do have a Q&A session, so hold on to your thoughts or post them in our chats. I'm going to hand this off now to Ram Arun, who is going to walk you through an introduction to our hands-on lab session. Okay, it's really exciting. So Ram, over to you.
Thank you, Malia. And I hope you guys can share, see my screen that I just shared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Before I start, I want to take a time to stop here and thank all the amazing ladies who have shaped the world. And I've always wondered what an opportunity I have among these amazing speakers where I could talk and contribute towards a common cause, which is women in technology. Like, how do we empower more women in technology space? And I think this is the perfect time we are having this conversation, as we are pretty close to March 8th, which is the Worldwide International Women's Day. So I want to appreciate and thank you for all the contribution for everything women's community have done towards this world. So with further ado, I want to move forward and introduce myself. My name is Ramkumar, and I'm the manager of site reliability engineering operations at Thomson Reuters. I manage OneSource platform application. I run a team of engineers. And previous to Thomson Reuters, I was working as a senior manager for IT application. And in addition to my career, I also kind of focus more on volunteering in technology space in any capacity where I could make some difference. And some of the volunteering position that I do is teaching people in the community where possible. So one of the key motivation for me to be part of this Women in Tech event is I'm also an ambassador for Canada, an official designation by Google. And we do have a community of volunteers and participants in Toronto, where we started with 2 people and we have grown to 3,000 members. So this pretty much shows the impact that we could make taking some time off our work and be able to spend time with the community and kind of spend the time more productively as part of volunteering itself. And at this point, I would like to thank Thomson Reuters. Without that support, this is totally not possible for me to go out of my work time and be able to engage with the community and build such a community of 3,000 members of learning technology professionals. So here is a snapshot where I wanted to showcase like what we could do in person, but at this point during COVID, we are trying to do a similar workshop like you see right now on your screens. We are trying to do this virtually on February 26th. So the amazing speakers that we have lined up is Amita, who's with us today, and Malia, who's also with us today. And we have AWS technical trainer, Jennifer, who will be joining us for the day as well. So it is going to be an intensive hands-on workshop where you guys would be able to do exactly in a real-time cloud environment setup. So you'll bring your laptop with internet connectivity and all that at your home. So we are bringing this learning opportunity to your home pretty much, right? So you will learn the concepts. You will also be able to perform hands-on labs. And all you require is some basic background on computer science. And we'll make sure that we are setting up you for success. And why are we focusing on cloud technology, right? As we have seen, as several of you probably know that the landscape of technology today has changed. Cloud technology has entered all our lives in one way or another, may it be watching Netflix or maybe in our work environment. Today, in the middle of COVID, most of us on the technology space have been able to successfully continue working with all the challenges we still face. but still be able to work remotely. And one of the reason is because of how cloud environment has enabled us. The amount of revenue that is spent on cloud technology has consistently grown as well. And Gartner's report has shown that it is going to be even more bigger as we move towards the next fiscals as well. So one of the key opportunities that I see personally with what this cloud technology has brought to our lives is it has broken the gender stereotype, which is in the past, if we talk about system administrators, people would imagine somebody like a male and who can carry hardwares, who can go and fix in a data center or an office work environment. But today, that stereotyping has broken. Any gender, as a matter of fact, sitting at home using an internet connectivity in front of the browser can do anything and everything possibly. That is because of cloud technology. There are new job opportunities that has opened today because of this technology. People have different types of jobs depending upon the kind of skill sets you have. If you are good in development programming, you can become a developer. If you are good in business analysis, process analysis, you can become a business analyst or a process analyst in cloud technology. And it also allows us to work from anywhere in the geography. So we have partnered with Fairygodboss today, and Thomson Reuters is kind of driving this initiative. We're collaborating with Google Developers Group. We're also collaborating with AWS. So the top two or among the top three cloud platform providers, we have partnered, and we are trying to work with Microsoft Azure as well to bring the best of learning opportunity to you guys. So about this workshop itself, on February 26th, we are going to kick off on the cloud essentials, and where you will learn the basics of cloud technology. Assuming you have no background on cloud technology with some computer science background, you guys can confidently come to the session. You will be kind of smoothly onboarded to the cloud concepts, and more hands-on is what we are going to focus on. We are not going to spend hours and hours talking about the theoretical concepts. We believe that we can do that while we do hands-on. So please make sure that you have a good internet connectivity and you have done your registration. And I'll share the registration links once again in the next slides. So in case if you haven't done the registration, it's all still open for you guys. So make use of this opportunity. This is an amazing opportunity where for free of cost, we are bringing to your doors an opportunity to learn hands-on with AWS instructors and other instructors from Thomson Reuters. So once you have the basics done on February 26th, we will start focusing on role specialization, where you will be introduced to specific streams of learning sessions, where you will, if you are interested in becoming a site reliability engineer, we will have a dedicated session going into site reliability engineering. Likewise, cloud DevOps, or if you are a programmer, we will show you like some opportunities where you can become a cloud developer and different other streams. We are not going to confine ourselves just to this technology. As you know, technology evolves, and so we are. We at Thomson Reuters, we believe in the upcoming technologies, and we want to make use that of our capability and our partnership with other vendors and bring that to the community. So the first thing that you probably might have to do today is take a screenshot of this slide. In case if you have not registered for the February 26th event, please take a screenshot of this. You can use a QR code, your mobile camera, to just scan through this QR code. It will take you to the link, and all you have to do is RSVP to this event, and you will get the registration details, and you are pretty much set for joining us on February 26th. And feel free to share it with your friends and family members as well. It's not specific to just women, although we are kickstarting with a theme on women in technology. This is open to everybody. There's no constraint that we are focusing this on one particular gender. This is for everybody, but definitely we would like to see more women participation. So feel free to share it with your friends and family members. And the takeaways that we promise that you guys would have is you will be able to do intense hands-on workshops, and you will learn the basic essentials of cloud platform with a hands-on learning experience. You will be able to build things on your own, and you will also get 30 days free access to the learning portal, which is not available for free outside this session. And you will also be kind of given a walkthrough of the free materials that are available today from AWS. And the best thing that you will experience is a networking opportunity with the talent and acquisition team with Thomson Reuters. So at the end of the session, we will kind of share some opportunities that are with Thomson Reuters in technology space. And probably we will try to see how we can connect with you guys. And soon it will kind of give you more details. He's up with from our talent and acquisition team. So he will share more details in terms of how can you connect with us, how we will take this program forward, and the job opportunities that lies within Thomson Reuters as well. And there's an opportunity to win amazing prizes as well. And in case, once again, the prerequisite is simply register for the event, make sure you have a good internet connectivity and a working laptop and some basic computer science background, and we will set you for success. And we have done this for almost 3,000 people in community in person. And we are confident that we are going to deliver at more the same level of efficient workshop, though it's going to be virtual. We'll make sure that your time is productively utilized. With that, make sure you join the meetup group that we have set up. We have just launched this. And again, as I said, this is not a one-time workshop. We are going to conduct several such workshops. And depending upon your interested area, you can join those workshops as well. So take a screenshot of this slide as well, and feel free to join the meetup group. By that way, you can keep constant communication with us through the meetup group as well. And with that, I would like to pause and answer any questions. Malia, if there's any questions on the chat for me at this point, happy to answer them.
No, I don't see it related to this. I think most of the questions around how to register has been answered. I think one person is looking for you to go back to the last screen. Do you mind?
Absolutely. So the QR code simply would take you guys, if you can just take your cameras, just scan through the QR code, it will automatically take you to the link.
Okay. All right. Oh, good, Ram. I think we're good then.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you so much. I hope you guys really do take up this opportunity. It's, it's hands-on, so you can make mistakes. It's also an opportunity to connect with many other women in tech. Another opportunity to connect with the Thomson Reuters recruiting team. So, look forward to seeing you guys again on Saturday. So now we're left with 15 minutes to answer any questions that the team might have. I think there's a couple of questions here that I could just read out loud. So maybe I'll start with the first one here is, how do you determine what is enough? You may apply for a job, and as a woman, I feel they will purposely challenge you on what they feel you do not know or do not know well to throw you off.
Malia, I can start with that, and obviously I'll let Amita add her thoughts as well. I think two things here that I want to mention, right? One is it purposeful or not? Like, the point I was saying when we talked about the challenges, right? Like just reflect if it feels as an intentional or an unconscious or a real challenge that one is posing on us when we come across these situations. So just have some reflection, understand, don't assume is one thing I would say, if that it is purposefully made that way because it is us, because there were times where I started like that, but only to realize that, now I'm giving them a better confidence versus less now, right? So just having some reflection on that challenge as to how that is being portrayed as, and understand that. But in terms of how do we determine what is enough, right? Like, I tend to think that what is enough or the perfection is a moving goalpost, right? We can't determine what is enough, right? What we can say is, we can say what we are confident about, what we know that we can bring to the table, and some of ways in which we can go about doing the job or solving that problem, and see if that suits, right, to the person who's posing that challenge. I think that is as much we can do. I mean, we just have to believe in our kind of knowledge that we have at that point, and also have that mindset wherein, like, I'm willing to learn on the go, and I'm willing to kind of, do what it takes to do this job, and provide some ideas as to how you would go about it at that point. Again, they may not be best ideas at that point, but at least that shows that willingness, about that mindset that you wear for that person who is challenging you, because maybe the other side, that person also wants to draw some confidence about you, and giving you that job or whatever. So it's kind of having that balanced approach is very important, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll add a little bit to that answer. Being authentic yourself and talking confidently about your experiences. And in the area where you lack, you can always talk about, with this experience, I can take and solve. I see a relatable pattern here, and I can take that to the area as well. How do we know what is good enough? I think it is there is no straight answer. In some cases, I felt like I've underperformed, and then I'll do a reflection, and then I'll come back. Maybe next time I'll do this correction. Being totally agile about things as we go. That was one of the strategies that I applied.
And I'll just add to it too. My thought process on it, is, when do you also know, like, enough is enough, that you won't tolerate it? There's a time where we all just make, a decision to walk away from it because, it's not good for our mental health, or it is just for the best.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So on to the next question. Any advice on finding powerful mentorship when you're looking to make a career change?
I can start. I mean, I don't know if there is a such thing called powerful mentorship, in my opinion. I think it's the mentorship we seek, and that comes in several ways. I was smiling because I was remembering one of the things Amita had highlighted about the support system. There were times in my career when I was going out to teach to the communities or speak about certain things to the community, or like there were times where I used to, because I come from India and I'm not someone who come with the language fluency or how to articulate things better. But my kids are born here and they are very much well into the education system here, and they articulate things very well. So I take their advice. I use them to mentor me, to give me some advice as to how I can put something forward and all. Like, I think mentors are everywhere, in my opinion. It's really having the clarity about what you need help on, and then going about finding, like, they are within your team. Sometimes, I learn so much from my team. I learn so much from my leaders. And I tend to think if we approach the people with what we are looking to kind of learn, they always extend. It's just that we need to understand what we want to learn and how we want to go about what, and then go to your professional networks, your personal networks, and your colleagues and friends, and seek the mentorship. In terms of the career change, particularly, I think that's what was the question. Again, like, finding opportunities like this, like, meetups and tech talks, and network with some of the folks you will see there, and connecting with talent communities, right? Like, we will have our talent team coming in for this particular workshop, and I'm sure there are similar things that are happening around as well, that they can attend and figure out various ways in which to get connected, and from there kind of start finding the right mentors.
Amita, did you want to add to
Yeah,
that?
no, just to maybe one point, knowing ourselves and knowing our deficiencies, that was a hard block for me to understand the areas where I needed help, areas where I needed some guidance. Knowing myself helped me to find that piece of mentorship anywhere around me, like people I work with, people I surround with my leaders, with my peers, and that was a turning moment, learning to learn myself and trying to understand my limitation and where I need guidance.
Mhm. Okay, two really good questions that's come up. I have taken a 20+ year career pause to raise my children. I've decided to relaunch into data career with training and whatnot. Do you have any specific suggestions for an older woman who is learning and applying for jobs?
I tend to think the workshop that we just talked about, Ram just went through, is a great place to start, in my opinion, which gives a good starting point from a technology perspective and platform essentials, like cloud platform essentials perspective. And from there, we also plan to launch some specific role specific courses and trainings as well. So that could be one avenue, but otherwise I think there's so much that you could find in terms of the information. This is an age of internet. I think there's so many trainings and materials and whatnot. I mean, it's never too late. I think holding on to that ambition of relaunching yourself back into the career is what is important. I am pretty sure you will find a lot of resources, but I would suggest to at least get started with what we are offering. And like Ram mentioned, there will be some resources and additional training materials and things like that that will be provided as part of that workshop, which I think can be very beneficial and could be a starting point as well. And from there, I'm pretty sure you will figure your way out into finding other sources of information as well.
Yeah, we are in the age of information. I feel like there are various communities like LinkedIn Learning and Coursera. So there's a lot of focused objective courses where if you can drill down to courses that match your taste, that will lead you to your path.
Thank you both. So one other question, I'm going to try to summarize this. So after being in a leadership role in IT, I feel I have lost much of my, most of my technical skills. So I have concerns with changing roles or companies because I may not be technical enough for a new role at a new company. So how technical do you have to be in your own role? How do you keep your own technical skills sharp while managing with your leadership role?
So I think feeling that if you're someone who has been in IT and it's just that naturally you've moved on to a leadership role, I don't think you've lost your technical skills. What you probably have lost is your like, you getting and doing something like coding, right? Like for example, I also lost that touch where I could quickly go tinker something. Like I used to do that even like 4 or 5 years back as well, but things have changed on me because of the role that I have started to do in the recent past and whatnot, and the time that I didn't have to keep up with that. But I don't think it's lost on you, right? It is there. You know about everything that's happening. And sometimes we tend to think being able to code is the only way that that makes us being technical. That's not true, right? And that's just one part of the many jobs that that are there in the technology. Like Malia was saying, she's a program manager, but she can understand how we do a lot of things around data and analytics and things that we are developing and creating. It's to me, don't feel that way, and just have a discussion with one of your developer or one of your architect as to what is happening, and try and learn as much as you can within the job that you're currently doing to get yourself that confidence back that, yes, I understand, although I'm not coding now, but I still understand how things are happening and why they're happening the way they are happening. I think you will get that confidence back. And from there on, it's just about how, just like I tend to use LinkedIn a lot because it gives me that what's happening around the world when it comes to technology. Like if you use some of these networking platforms, they'll automatically keep you up to speed on where the world is going or how the trends are changing and what are the things that you want to kind of keep in the know of and learn and all that stuff. So it is not that hard, but not losing that confidence is what you need to bring back basically in you, is what I would say.
Yeah, I don't think I can add anything else. Anu covered it beautifully. Maybe one thing I will add. I set aside 30 minutes on Friday. I talk to my team members and I understand their word, and we all have that background, and technology evolution is logical. We will really quickly connect with that, with the fundamentals that we have. I set aside 30 minutes on Friday to, something interesting that I'm interested in doing. Maybe that is for education or trying out something new. So I set aside some time for my interest, and also helps me in keeping on learning newer stuff.
Yeah. I think that's it for questions. I know we've got 2 minutes left. Any questions from the audience? No? So if there's, if you want to follow up with us for anything further, please connect with us on LinkedIn. I think Sunit has posted our LinkedIn profiles on there. We're happy to answer queries and connect with you. Don't forget to sign up and register for this Saturday's working session. And for closing, I'm going to pass it back to Anu just to close this out. But thank you so much. I appreciate you all making your time to join us today. Anu, over to you.
You've definitely covered it well, Malia. Again, thank you all for taking the time to join us. We are very excited and thrilled that we are able to bring this forward to the community that we belong to. Do sign up for the workshop and also sign up for the meetup group. That's where we will post the sessions that we want to conduct in future and how we want to kind of continue to bring this support to the community as well. So do sign up, connect with us, and be in the know of what we are offering, and take advantage of it, is what I would say. Thank you all for tuning in today.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you all.
thank you.